Okay, just got this fridge which got an ice dispenser and a cold water dispenser. It's actually a very good one because the filter is external, which is very good. But one thing I didn't pay attention to is how am I going to connect it to the mains. Well, the tubing obviously comes out of here, and I've got it there, and the challenge is where the electricity goes in, and if I come back to the front, it goes through there, which you can see one socket for the dishwasher and one socket for the fridge. Now the problem is you can feed it from here to here under the socket, but how do you get it from here behind that to there and then connect it to the cold water mains in there? Well, first thing I managed to do is get a wire like so and feed it from that hole to that hole. Behind it is completely shut, so there's actually a very small hole at the top, at the very top, and this is obviously a flexible one. I've tried with one of these long fiberglass sticks, but it wouldn't do it. And once I managed to feed it through, I taped one of these ropes on and I pulled it through. And now the shorter one, which is from here to here, is the easier one, which I managed early on. So I'm just going to untape this and feed the wire from here to here and then tape it on. Okay, now I managed to fit that from here to here and slide it through and bend it until I got it into there. And now again I've just, as you can see, taped it on. Now that little point I didn't mention earlier is whenever you feed something like this, make sure that you tie it somewhere, because it's very normal to actually pull it all the way through and then regret it, but obviously that's from previous experience on this one, so I was careful. Now, if all goes through, this should very easily pull through, bringing out that with it. Success. Now all I'm going to do is tape that onto that and pull it through and hope for the best. A little point when I'm taping this is I tend to do it in two sections. One section's there, you can see that sticking out, and another section there. Again, you don't want a lot of tape on the tube, which is going to be a struggle to take it off later, but the other point is if one gives way, the other will hold. Too hot to actually go through it again. Eventually you put a bit of tape on the rope itself so it's nice and pointy, which will pull through easily, and to the best that you can, you straighten this so that again it makes it easier to go through. Well, wish me luck, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, gone through very nicely, and there's a bit stuck there behind the socket. It just needed a bit of feeding, but you could just see it sticking out there and has come from here very nicely. Now obviously this needs to be cut shorter because I need to fit the Samsung filter, which again has to be upright. So now I've got the choice whether to keep it here. Right, here sounds good, or actually on the back wall there, and take a feed off that, hopefully without a single drop of water. This bit is a bit complicated because I'm not very happy taking a section under the stop valve, so what I'm going to have to do is put an extra piece of copper above it, and then The set comes with a 28mm valve, which is a huge one. So just this one there, to connect the hose, as you can see at the top. So this is a 28 mil valve tap, which is a garden tap. The reason why I chose a garden tap is I prefer to have a heavy duty tap. I have a problem with water and leaks, and I don't like leaking, so I always do things once so I don't have to go back and do it. And my plan is to put this extra piece of copper pipe just above that, using an olive on either side. You'll see the end product hopefully in the next video, and I'm going to use this to go on top, and hopefully this set which fits onto there will give me a shut and open valve specifically for the water, without shutting the mains to the kitchen in case something goes wrong. So show you in a minute. Right, after about an hour or so, I had to go down to the shop twice to get this limit converter from 22mm to 3/4. This is the end product, and to be honest, I insisted on having it above the stop so that I can do anything to it. At the moment I am just I've fitted the brackets there, made a nice line, and it's going to connect to there. At the moment what I'm doing is I'm just connecting it to flush it. Obviously my quarter comes out first. They say about a few litres, but to be honest, they say you don't have to flush it, but I prefer to flush it because I don't want black ice in the fridge. You can see there's black stuff all over the sink that comes from it, ignoring the dishes around it. I'm just going to leave it to run for a few litres, well, I'll leave it to run for a few gallons really, and then I'll connect it and show you the end product. Okay, well, the secret of connecting this to the tube is that you push it all the way in. You almost hear a click when you push it all the way in. Here you go, click, and then you very gently pull it out and you put this catch just there, and you will not be able, there you go, it looks like that, you won't be able to release it unless you take that off and push that silver bit further down. I left all the excess tubing in here so that we can do anything we want with it. Thank you. The filter is flushed and connected, everything is put in place. That's the final product, and after I connected it to the outlet I actually flushed it again for a few more litres. Now go to the fridge. You've got a total of 5 screws to take off, after which the back of it looks like that, and there's the area that I'm going to connect it in. Now this came with its own washer that I'm going to, here we go, I'm going to connect the hose through it, and this is the secret. You can do this with one hand. Remember always to put this in first, so this goes in first, and this tells you more of the instructions, which, you know, inlet, outlet, all that business, and it's done anyway. Now you need to just push it all the way in. Where are we? All the way into that, and then tighten this knot. So I'm going to stop this for a second. Connected. Awkwardly, it's facing upwards. The hose had to loop on itself and come back out. Now the lumpy plastic bit is, I've decided to tuck it at the back here, which is convenient, so I've just undone that screw because I only discovered it after I've managed to fit everything in. So undone that screw, fitted it in, and luckily it is sitting far away from anything that's going to go hot and cold. Now I'm just going to put the cover back on, and this should be sliding out from here conveniently. Obviously check before putting the cover back, no leaks, and hopefully we'll put the cover back on there to make it look neater. Push the fridge back, and the ice hasn't formed yet, but I'll have a go at this. It's a good nice action. The water is cold, and it fills really quickly, and the good thing is no drip.